Hello everyone, welcome all my library readers to the Library Reader. Alright, so I owned this book, but I did check out the ebook from the library, and this is For Found Dead by Natalie Richardson, and this is my first book that I've ever read from her. And it is the last night of this theater, and after they close, the entire property will be available to be auctioned. And over the course of the book, we discover that Clayton, who is their boss, is a psychotic lunatic. One by one, he guns down each one of them until there's only 3 left. And we also learn that one of the 3 that is still alive has seizures, which adds a much more an element of like, at any time, one of the 3 could die, but not the hands of Clayton and his gun. And we also discover that what happens after the massacre. We find that the city is absolutely horrified. So is the company that they used to be employed with is absolutely horrified that this happened. I'm pretty sure they're mad at themselves for allowing this guy to even be hired, let alone any kind of authority over these people. Here's the thing about it. There's a rule that phones and car keys are to be left in the safe. No idea if this was an actual company policy or this was just something that Clayton created and claimed it was so that he could have control over them. No idea. But this is the kind of thing about this book, and I'm going to say this. This book definitely is a lot different than the other horror books that I have read, because this one, you have these 3 that are still alive. Well, there was like 4 and then the person died. But they have to think on their feet. They can't rely on technology to get them the help that they need. And their goal is an arcade. This arcade is the only part of the mall that still has an alarm system. Pretty sure the one in the theater no longer had one either. If you trip this alarm, the fire department and police will show up. So they know if they can get to the fire alarm in the arcade, they will be good. But meanwhile, they got to figure out how to get to the arcade. And now they tried to get to the arcade the normal mean, and it's totally locked because it's no longer in business. So they have to go to the utility room, go across something that's not meant for heavy people to go through to get to the fire alarm. And Clayton is hunting them like a psychotic lunatic that we all know he is. The pacing of it was really good, especially as we're watching these people slowly get killed one by one. And also the inner thoughts and the flashback that one of the characters has about her father dying at this mall. And the thing about it is that as they get closer to their goal, it gets harder to reach that goal. Finally, they get to the goal, and they smash the glass, and they trigger the alarm, and nothing happens. And literally, like, wait a minute, I thought this alarm was active. It turns out, there is an alarm that's active, but we don't see where it's at, because all of a sudden, all the lights turn on. It's just a screeching sound, and it basically is when the mall was open, it was to alert people, hey, you need to get out because there's a fire and stuff like that. And sure enough, despite the fact the mall is totally empty and deserted, the exit is unbarred, which is weird. Which kind of might tell me that maybe there was urban explorers? Don't know, because why would an exit be unlocked? Anyways, they get out. They get out of there, and sure enough, help shows up because the alarm was triggered, and the company sends the police to find out what's going on. And all of a sudden, you've got 3 people running out, covered in blood. Yeah. So they had to go in there, and they're like, they do what they do, and suddenly the mall has a lot more people because there's like police there. Anyways, absolutely loved this book. So I saw this on Amazon, and I was like, oh man, I've got to have this book. And then I saw it on Barnes & Noble. Like, oh, I got to have this book. I went to Myers. They had the book. I was like, you're going out with me. Anyways, absolutely loved it. Alright, so I have, as an thing, I have 2 books that are still from Libby. I'm reading Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. And I'm also going to be reading The Red Letter. So I am looking forward to those books, to read those books. So anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And until next time, keep reading your library books and supporting your local libraries. Bye.